So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In continuation of our lecture of forensic pharmacy. So, today our topic is by laws of Pharmacy Council of Sindh. As you are aware that under Section 3 of Pharmacy Act 1967, the Provincial Pharmacy Council are authorized to frame their own bylaws under which they have to work, under which they have to run that Provincial Council. So I've got these bylaws of Pharmacy Council from our former Secretary of Pharmacy Council Sindh. So these are the bylaws. So these are framed under Section 34 of Pharmacy Act 1967. So you can read that the Sindh Government Gazette published by Authority, Karachi, Thursday, October 31, 2013, the part 1. So as I have told you, all laws must be gazetted, published in respective gazette of that province or federal government gazette. So then they become law. If they are not published in these gazettes, they do not have any power of law. So first, the Sindh Government Gazette published by Authority, Karachi, the Thursday, October 31, 2030. It is the part 1 say, by laws of Pharmacy Council of Sindh. The title of this by laws of Pharmacy Council of Sindh under Pharmacy Act as amended in 1973. So you can read further. In exercise of the power conferred by subsection of Section 34. So I told you that Section 34, which authorized, allowed that respective pharmacy councils, sub-provincial or federal, to frame the bylaws. So what the Section 34 of Pharmacy Act was that power to make bylaws. So it's 34. One is that a council may, with the previous approval, in the case of central council of the central government and in case of provincial council of the provincial government, make bylaws for carrying out the purpose of this. So under Section 34, they are authorized to frame their own bylaws under which they run that provincial pharmacy. So these are the bylaws of Pharmacy Council of Sindh. So it's part 1 say here in if you can read that one Pharmacy Act 96, there was sections. Now here they have part 1s. So part 1 of that bylaws is preliminary is that first is that part 1 of first there was sections, there was rules. Here they have various part. So part 1 says 1, these bylaws may be called the Pharmacy Council of Sindh Bylaws 2011. The title of this is first, wherever they have to promulgate any act, they have a title. So these bylaws may be called the Pharmacy Council of Sindh Bylaws 2011. So they were published in 2013, but the title say these are bylaws of 2011. As we say that Pharmacy Act 1967, similarly these are bylaws of 2011, published in Gazette of Sindh in 2013. So firstly, bylaws may be called the Pharmacy Council of Sindh Bylaws 2011. So second say, in these bylaws, unless there is anything repugnant in the subject organs, if they can also counteract or against some other laws, so it is known in these bylaws unless anything in the subject or context. So 2A is Act, means Pharmacy Act 1967, 11 of 1967. So they are framed under Pharmacy Act 1967. Now B says committee, means a committee constituted by the Provincial Council under subsection 1 of this section 12. So similarly, they have derived the authority from section 12 when they also constitute any committee. So they is from section 12 of Pharmacy Act 1967. So committee means a committee constituted by the Pharmacy Council under subsection 1 of section 12 of Pharmacy Act 67. So because they all derived this power from that Pharmacy Act 1967. Note C says member means a member of the Provincial Council. Now you may have you may have read that there was a Pakistan Pharmacy Council, their own members. Now Provincial Council have their own members. Now D, the president means the secretary appointed by the Provincial Council under subsection 1 of section 15, and he will not be a member of the council. Now president, mostly here the president is the secretary health of the respective province. The president means the secretary appointed by the Provincial Council under subsection 1 of the section 15, and he will not be the member. Now mind it clear is that he is not a regular member of that council. The president is by default, by ex officio, because if he is the secretary of health of that respective, he is the president of that pharmacy council. So provided he is not, so when the next secretary is appointed or relieved or transferred, the next secretary will become the president of that pharmacy council by default. So mind you that he is not a regular member of that, but he is the president. He is secretary. Now secretary means the secretary appointed by the Provincial Council under subsection 1 of section 15, and he will be the member of the council. So among the members are the one can be appointed as a secretary. So secretary means he is a member. You can see the difference between president. President by default becomes the president of the council because he is the secretary health of that province. Or you can, if you go in that section, they can appoint another one by a president. So the secretary will be he will be secretary, and he is also the member of the Provincial Pharmacy Council. Then there's F. No, every pharmacy council, they have president, secretary, and registrars. Registrar means the registrar appointed by the Pharmacy Council under subsection 2 of the section 15, and he will not be the member of the council. Now here you can see that the registrar of the council is not a member, although he will attend the proceeding of that council, but he is not a regular member. So president is not a member, and registrar is not a member. Then there's a G. Section means a section of this. And so the section means, as we can say that various parts, the section of the acts are also known as a various section. Then there is 3 of part 1 is that the headquarters of the Provincial Council shall be situated in Karachi. So they have cleared that the Pharmacy Council will be, the place of office of the Provincial Council will be in Karachi. Now they have shifted their office place from, I think, State Building to opposite Sarsa Hospital. Now after December, when you pass this examination, you went to the Pharmacy Council, you go over there to the Pharmacy Council Sindh for your registration. So its office is now in front of, I think, Sarsa Hospital over there. So in this act, in this bylaw, the headquarters of Provincial Council shall be situated in Karachi, although the Act has authorized them wherever they can have. They can be at Hyderabad, they can be at Sakkar, but in this Act, they have decided that the headquarters of the Provincial Council shall be situated in Karachi. So then they will go for part 2 of that bylaws of that one of Pharmacy Council Sindh. So it says that part 2, criteria for nomination of member, how the member is nominated. Now this, you can understand that the one is elected, one is nominated. Now here, the members are nominated. In certain councils, they have election of their members, they have election of their president, they have elections of something, but here, these members are nominated. So criteria for nomination of members is that part 2 says 1, All members will be registered pharmacists, registered with the Pharmacy Council of Sindh in Register A. So it is mandatory for each member, he must be a pharmacist and registered in Register A of that pharmacy. So no pharmacist can be member. So every member must be a registered pharmacist of the Pharmacy Council of Sindh. Other than that, he cannot be a member. So first, all members will be registered pharmacists, registered with the Pharmacy Council of Sindh and Register A. One thing. Second, what they have to take? Two pharmacists from hospital. Now, next two members will be from a hospital. So one from public and other from private sector. Now they've added that one pharmacist, they can be a chief pharmacist uh, from the civil hospital, service hospital, Jinnah hospital, or from where. First, one can be government hospital. Second, they can nominate from a private sector, maybe Indus Hospital, maybe Akha Hospital, maybe Patel Hospital, wherever the pharmacist is appointed, is serving over there. So clear that there are two pharmacists from hospital pharmacy, one from public and government hospital, and one member from the private sector hospital. Now, three says further two members, two pharmacists from pharmaceutical industry. Now, they are industrial pharmacists, one from multinational and other from national pharmaceutical industries. Now, mind that two pharmacists from industrial. So, in two, they were hospital pharmacists. Now, they have also include industrial pharmacists. So, one from multinational and one from national pharmaceutical industries. Pharmacy two. Now they become four members. Now further two members. Two pharmacists from academia. Now academic from universities. Now two pharmacists from academia means from university. They can be a professor or assistant professor from your Larry University. No, further I have to divide that. Two pharmacists from academic, one from public and other from private sector. So one from public university means government university and other from private sector. So one teacher from that one of government university, maybe Karachi University, maybe Sindh University, maybe from Larry University or whatever. And one member from private university, maybe from your Ziauddin University, or Accra University, wherever a pharmacist or a professor or assistant professor, who is it must be a teacher. So two from, so they become six members. Now three further members, two to four and two. So now three members, so six, three, nine. Three pharmacists from pharmacy professional associations and societies. One from Pakistan Pharmacy Association, one from Pakistan Society of Health System Pharmacists, and one from Pakistan Chemists and Druggist Association Sindh chapter. Now further they include three more members. They may be from, when you pass that your Form D, you become member of Pakistan Pharmacy Association Sindh chapter. The one is from societies and one from Pakistan Pharmacy Association, means one from Pakistan Society of Health System Pharmacists and one from Pakistan Chemist and Druggist Association Sindh chapter. So three more. Now they becomes two to four to six, three, nine members. Is it clear? Now further two members. So there was nine, now to 9 to 11. The two pharmacists from health department by default. Now Secretary Quality Control Board and Chief Drug Inspector, it is a Chief Drug Inspector. So two pharmacists means nine and two pharmacists from health department by default Secretary Quality Control Board of Sindh. He is a pharmacist, and then Chief Drug Inspector of Sindh is also a pharmacist. So they become to know if he is not a qualified pharmacist, he is not a pharmacist, so they cannot member. So now you have 11 members. How much? They becomes 11. 2 to 6 to 9, then to 11. Now these are by default. These are by virtue of their position as a secretary. If they do not remain secretary, they quit the council. Similarly, The chief drug inspector, if he's retired, then the next chief drug inspector will be the member of the pharmacy council. So they by default they are the ex officio members of pharmacy. But they must mandatory for them is that they must be a pharmacist. No, now 11 members. Now all members will hold. Now means the composition of Sindh Pharmacy Council have 11 members. They have 11 members. Now further what they do in section 7 say all members will hold office for a period of 3 years. So the period is mentioned over here. They remain the member from the date of joining the council. These nominated members, the period of their membership is for 3 years, which may continue upon satisfactory contribution to the pharmacy council except for members nominated by default. Now it is clear that the other members, there was I think 9 members, they have a tenure of 3 years. But the members who are appointed by default means secretary, quality control board, and chief inspector, they are nominated by default. So if they are transferred or they have retired, so their membership will be terminated. They are no more member of the pharmacy council. So next officers who are appointed in their place, they will become the members. So all members will hold the office of the period of 3 years except the members nominated by default. Is it clear? Part 1 of 8 says, in the last meeting of pharmacy council, upon the expiration of the term of 3 years, the house will be open to the members who wish to continue their valuable time for the profession and keeping in view their active participation in the 3 years period. They may be renominated and new members shall be nominated in place of those members who do not wish to continue. Criteria of nomination of every member shall be his or her devotion, contribution to the profession of pharmacy. Now, when the tenure is going to be expired of that pharmacy council of 3 years, in the last meeting of pharmacy council, they ask the members who want to continue members after the expiry of their tenure. So if they wish that they can continue, they continue. Those who do not want to continue membership, they may be withdrawn their membership. Then they may be retired from that pharmacy council. They may be withdrawn. So the criteria of membership is that now every member, now what they do, they have devotion, contribution to the profession of pharmacy. This is the main criteria on the basis of these members of pharmacy council are nominated. Is it clear? Now part 3 of summoning and holding of meeting of the provincial council. So what they do? First, the meeting of the provincial council shall be called by the secretary with prior approval of the president or by a vice president under an intimation to president. So the secretary of the pharmacy council, who is also a member of that pharmacy council, shall call the meeting. So with prior approval of the president or by vice president under intimation, so they invite any meeting of that provincial council. So the secretary, what he has to get approval from the president, or if president not available, then from the vice president. So then he has also sent a copy to the president, yes, that I have taken the approval from the vice president. So regular meeting of pharmacy council shall be held at least once every alternate month. That is at least 6 meetings each year. In every meeting, the progress on matters decided in previous meetings shall be scrutinized thoroughly. So it is mandatory that within 2 months they have to call a regular meeting of council. It means must be 6 meetings must be held during a calendar year. So it's but on ground reality, they sometimes they follow, sometimes they do not follow, sometimes they may not call the meeting even within a year also. So regular meeting of pharmacy council shall be held after every 2 months, means 6 meetings they must has to be held in a calendar year. 3. A special meeting to deal with any urgent matter requiring the consideration of the Provincial Council may be called by the members in writing under signature of at least one-third of the members, which may be submitted to the Secretary and the Vice President of the Pharmacy Council along with agenda of the meeting desires to be discussed. Other than that, if sometimes there is urgent meeting, may be called. So members have one third of the members of the council are allowed to call a meeting. They send agenda to the secretary of Sindh Province Council for the meeting. Fourth, the Secretary of Pharmacy Council, in consultation of the Vice President, shall be bound to issue notice of such special meeting and call the meeting within 7 working days. Within 7 days, no, there are two types of meeting. One is the regular meeting and one is the special meetings. The regular meeting is called by the secretary after every 2 months. But if during that period, if there is an urgent matter has been arise, so they can call a special meeting if one third of the members submit in writing to the secretary and the vice president of the council for an urgent meeting of that council. Now, if you receive any notice or any that letter, any request from the one-third members of the pharmacy council, now what the secretary has to do? Secretary of pharmacy council, in consultation of the vice president, shall be bound to issue notice of such a special meeting and call the meeting within 7 working days from the receiving of that notice, from the receiving of the request from the minimum one-third members of the pharmacy council. So you can see that how they call the meeting. First meeting, the president can call the meeting. First, the vice president can call the meeting. Third, one third of the members can call the meeting, and the secretary is bound to call the meeting within 7 working days. 5. In case of the president and vice president being absent, the members of the council shall elect among themselves any member to be acting president for the particular meeting. So if they are absent to preside the meeting, they can request someone, they can elect among the member to act as the president for that particular meeting. In case secretary of the council being absent for any reason whatsoever, or is on leave, or is sick, whatever, the registrar of the council or any member of the council shall be called as secretary for the meeting and shall hold and document the meeting and put up the copy of minutes of such meeting before the president or in his absence, vice president for a approval. So if the secretary is absent, is not available, the registrar has to hold the meeting, and if the registrar is not available, then among the members can be act as a secretary, and he has to document the proceeding of the council. 7. The secretary shall dispatch to each member a notice of every meeting specifying the date, time, and place of such meeting, together with the agenda, be not less than 10 working days notice shall be given of every meeting other than a special meeting called under Rule 1 of that part. 3. 8. At the meeting, a member may, with the permission of the president or in the absence of the president, vice president, move any motion or discuss any subject or item not included in the agenda of a meeting. So sometimes if they need another point of urgency that may be discussed in the meeting, if member may with the permission, so and any other matter with the permission present can be motion, can be moved any other matter during that other than the agenda. The 8 is said at the meeting, a member may with the permission of the president or in the absence of the president, vice president, move any motion or discuss any subject or item not included in the agenda of a meeting that can be allowed. The quorum of any meeting shall be one third of the total members of members, fraction being taken as a whole number. So one third, so minimum that one third of the member must be available during a meeting. That is the quorum. Every item on the agenda of a meeting shall be decided by the majority of votes of the members present and voting. Voting shall be by show of hands. The result of the voting shall be decided by the president or vice president immediately after the voting, and such declaration shall be final. In case of equality of votes, the president shall have a second or casting vote, and in absence of president, the vice president shall have the second or casting vote. In absence of both president or vice president, the sitting acting president shall exercise second or casting vote. Still, the 10 is also